From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
Thank God it's Friday!
Oh, you bet your sweet and sour ass it is. And we're dealing with our usual June gloom here in Southern California, which means we wear sweats in the morning, but by afternoon, we're in Speedos or nothing at all.
Yeah.
All right, who's ready to go on another action-packed adventure? Yeah, I thought so. So zip it up and let's go. Here's what's on tap on the Wrap. We've got the battle between the billion-dollar balls happening. Another adventure of AutoPen is coming up. Walmart is about to go medieval on your ass. We'll tell you about that. Is rock music dead? Angus and Brian from AC/DC respond, and it looks like Aaron Rodgers has found a home. Finally. Another round of Fed trauma is on the way. We're going to play I Start It, You Finish It. We got our usual loose behavior. The Friday Funny Celebrity Cheese, Fleabag Promises, outrageous and salacious email from our Gmail. One more thing, and we've got our shout-outs to Rat Nation and the Resistance. Let me try that again. The Resistance. There we go. Had to get the tongue roll working right there. All right, Rat Nation, the body count for the Rat Nation member club, fan club, listener club. It now stands at 333 members. We got to get to 1,000, though, before we can start giving up the hot tickets, cool trips, and cash that we want to do. So go to ratsasspodcast.com. Check it out. See if you want to become one of the few and the loud. You know what today is? It's D-Day. Oh, stop it. It's not that kind of D-Day. Well, it is National Donut Day, but I'm talking about 81 years ago today, the Americans and their allies stormed the beaches at Normandy to begin their assault on Nazi Germany. WW2. So today we remember the troops who lost their lives, their families who are still with us today, and thank them for our freedom. Because without D-Day, we might not be speaking English, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's address the elephant in the room, this battle between Musk and Trump. I'm sure you're familiar with all the back and forth so far, so I'll spare you the details and the play-by-play on that, but I am going to cut the chase here on this. There's some BS on social media. Are you on Team Trump or Team Musk? I'm sure this was started by the Democrats to try and divide us all up. Now, these two jagoffs just really need to grow up and stop messing with people's lives in public. They're also giving the Democrats fuel for the first time since last November. You know, when you got your opponent down, you keep kicking them and leave them down. I guess Trump and Musk have never read The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Maybe they forgot about it. But for the first time, the Democrats have something to draw attention to themselves, and that's never a good thing. Never a good thing. Personally, I'm for Team America, not Team Trump or Team Musk. I'm always going to be for Team America because I'm an American. And here's my advice to the Billionaire Balls Club. Stop comparing your dicks in public and chill out. You know, I think we all enjoy the transparency that we get from the Trump administration. But the reality is the country needs to see calm leadership at all times, especially coming off 4 years of Joe Biden. Now, I don't recall what ex-president said this, but so I'm going to paraphrase this. But he said in the world of politics, the public is on a need-to-know basis. Government should let the public see what we want them to see until it's time to inform them of a crisis. You know, back in the day, you know, the government used to say, we're over here in silent. Don't look at us. We're going to just be over here doing our government thing. You go live your lives. Get educated. Go make money. Go have a good time. We'll leave you alone, except when it was April 15th. That was it. Today, the government wants all eyes on them so they can keep us divided and they can still get away with whatever the hell they want. They get us moving and looking in 15 different directions. That's just the way it is. But he said that when it comes to government, they should always fuck in private. That's the part I'm not going to paraphrase. Meaning that the crap happening between Trump and Musk right now needs to be handled behind closed doors. Now, here's the problem. You got the richest man in the world who has all the FU money in the world, owns a social media platform called X, and he can fight all of his battles right in front of us, and he's not afraid to do it. Doesn't matter to him. He's going to be fine because he's well off, right? Now, here's the problem. Tesla's stock dropped $47 a share yesterday. That was a $150 billion market hit. That's 3 times more than what he paid for X in one day. So I'm asking him, was it worth it? Was it worth it, Elon? He sits on a board, and they're questioning his commitment right now. This might be one of those things where they just say, you know what, Elon, these are your companies. You started this and that. You're still going to be involved, but we want you off the board. Could happen. It could happen. Maybe that's why he's kind of chillaxed a little bit this morning. and said, yeah, maybe cooler heads need to prevail here. But, Musk is also running a poll on X asking, should there be a new political party that caters to the 80% of Americans in the middle? I don't know where the poll currently sits, but listen to some gay nightclub music while I look this up for you real quick. Elon Musk on X. There he is. Okay, here we go. We've got 5.5 million people who have participated in his poll right now. He's got 12 minutes left on the poll, only 12 minutes, so I think we're probably there. So 5.5 million people voted, 80% voting for a new party, other than the Republican and Democratic Party, 20% saying no. Now, I used to think, there's more of the gay nightclub music. It just won't stop. Once that thing starts thumping, it just wants to keep thumping. But the bottom line is, I used to think 3 parties. We need that to balance out the Democrats and Republicans who seem to me sometimes to be working together to keep us divided. So 33 sounded good to me. But here's, according to The Art of War, by the way, Sun Tzu would say, enemy of my enemy is my friend. That means third party pops up, the Democrats and Republicans join forces to try and knock them down. So it's pointless to have 3 parties. I know, God, I hate the sound of that, but it's true. But quite frankly, from the outside looking in, Musk has looked fried for a while. There's only 168 hours in the week. I don't care how much money he has, he's still a human being. He's running X, Tesla, SpaceX, SolarCity, Neuralink, and these aren't easy companies to run, by the way. Plus, he's moonlighting at Doge. You talk about burning the candle at both ends, biting off more than you can chew. See how many other references I can come up with. But he did it. Now, there's rumors of a phone call happening later today between Trump and Musk. We'll see if it happens, see if cooler heads prevail. Joe Biden released this statement about his use of the auto pen yesterday. Remember, we told you on Wednesday this is what would happen. Joe would release something clearing everybody. But he said, let me be clear. That's when my spidey senses went up about who wrote this, because Joe's never been clear. He said, I made the decisions during my presidency. I made the decisions about my pardons, executive orders, legislation, and proclamations. Any suggestion that I didn't is ridiculous and false. Now, do you believe Joe? Or could he have been bribed by Jilly? Joe, sign this and all the Haagen-Dazs you want. Free Haagen-Dazs, Joe, all you want. That's all it would take, I think, to bribe Joe. But unfortunately, this battle between Trump and Musk has overshadowed who was running the White House over the 4 years from 2020 to 2024. It's kind of overshadowing that. I'm kind of curious to see if the media will pick this story back up again. Quite frankly, again, most salacious, scoundrelous, event in American history as far as I'm concerned. They really tried to pull the wool over our eyes with Biden. All right, did you see where Walmart is adopting the idea of using robots as security guards in their parking lots? I guess it's happening in some places, but apparently these robots are already locked into the local police departments and send reports right away to hey, somebody just backed into a car and left, and they've already got the report looking for you. They got the license plate number. Same thing with shopping carts. You let it go and it dings somebody else's car, they're going to catch you on camera. Car theft, vandalism, littering, it's all there, all the things they're looking for in the parking lot. Now, obviously, if you like the idea, continue to shop at Walmart. If you don't, stop shopping at Walmart. Nothing like a shrinking bottom line to freak a company out. And by the way, do you think they'll call these robots Wall-E? Kiss bassist Gene Simmons has been saying for a while that rock is dead. And while on tour here in the United States, Angus Young and Brian Johnson of AC/DC weighed in on the topic.
Long funeral then.
A very long funeral.
With all respect to the lad, I think he's terribly wrong for a start. I really do. I don't think anybody should, have the nerve to stand there and just say a certain genre of music has just disappeared overnight. It's no longer because I say so. Okay?
Right.
Well, I'm here to tell you, Gene, you're wrong. And I'm saying it's alive and kicking. My name's Brian. How do you do?
I like the way Brian kind of backed off on the F-bomb there. He said, I better think better of that. And he became a gentleman. I liked how he called Gene Simmons a lad, too. But the bottom line on this, both of them are right. In the United States, rock is not as popular as it used to be. And in Europe, it's thriving. It's thriving. A lot of American bands go and tour in Europe during the summer because of this, and this has been going on year after year after year. I blame radio, the industry I came from, on this to a certain extent because they wouldn't launch a format called Active Rock. I had created a format called Axe Radio that was a real hard-banging rock station, but they kept saying, the music's too hard, the audience won't get it, women won't listen, advertisers won't buy it. Well, that's not true because there are a few of these stations around the United States that do well. KISW in Seattle, KUPD in Phoenix. There are several others, WEBN in Cincinnati off the top. But there's not enough of these rock stations playing music from the 90s and 2Ks to really make this genre pop. Now, you can go to YouTube off our Rat's Ass Podcast channel. Just go to our website, ratsasspodcast.com, and you'll see how I have lined out the music genres there. I think we call the music... what do we call it? We call it prime rock, and then we have classic rock. We separated the two. And boy, I'll tell you what, man, if you've got the commercial-free version of YouTube, you will dig this at ratsasspodcast.com. Check it out, the YouTube channel. I think you'll dig it, and dig it a lot. All right, let's move.
Okay, I'm going to stroke your ego. Here's the world-famous Mojo Elliott with Rat Sports.
Oh, Alexa, you can stroke me anytime. You know that. All right, reports indicate that ex-Packers and Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers will sign a one-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers today. Rodgers will be 42 in December. That's towards the tail end of the season, but I think you'll agree he's gone from a Pro Bowl quarterback to a rent-a-quarterback, clearly playing for the money this season. The Steelers had both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields last year, but passed on them this season. Steelers, God, you should have kept Fields, but they're in the situation they're in. They got Mason Rudolph as a backup. But circle these dates on your calendar. This is very important. I think this weighed in on Rodgers' decision. Week 1, September 7th, the Steelers open up in New York against the Jets. Little revenge game. Then on October 26th, here come the Green Bay Packers to Pittsburgh. You don't think that this entered Rodgers' decision? I think it did. All right, the NBA Finals last night. Indiana shocked the world. Shocked me. I'm still stunned from it. Tyrese Halliburton buried a 20-foot jump shot with 0.3 seconds left to give Indiana an upset win over Oklahoma City in Game 1. You talk about choking, man. It was the only time Indiana led in the game on the final shot of the game. Oh, Oklahoma City. Oh. God bless. So now Indiana has home court advantage. All right, the NHL Stanley Cup Finals resume tonight with Edmonton hosting Florida in Game 2. The Oilers lead the series 1-0 after a thrilling, and I mean thrilling, 4-3 overtime win in Game 1 on Wednesday. This is going to be a good series. I said earlier, evenly matched, and I took Edmonton, and I'm sticking to it. Now, if you're into college baseball, the quest to get into Omaha begins today for the College World Series. And that is sports for you on The Wrap.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head Trauma.
All right, today we are playing I Start It and You Finish It. The topic today is intercourse. Intercourse. Let me say that one more time. Intercourse. 67% of women say they prefer this happens before intercourse. 67% of women say they prefer this before intercourse. Kick it around, marinate on it, maybe overthink it. We'll have the answer for you coming up a little bit later on the podcast.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Yes, it is finally Friday, and that means time for the Friday Funny. Now, if you haven't heard of the artful codger, Andy Huggins, let me clue you in. He is 73 years old, decided, I want to get into stand-up. And he's out of Houston, Texas, and he does this really good self-deprecation humor, and he takes it to an all-new level. Ladies and gents, Andy Huggins.
I thought I'd start off my act with two new facts I learned today. One, an edible is nothing like a Lunchable. And metrosexual isn't two people screwing on the bus. My new hearing aids are great. I can now hear the safe word. New watch will tell me how many steps I've taken today. 47. No wonder I'm tired. As far as social media goes, you can follow me on the bulletin board at Kroger's or My Chart. Speaking of which, because of my bad back, I've had several MRIs, and it's been determined that I have thin bones. And as it happens, Thin Bones is also my gangster name. Because of my thin bones, I'm very unsteady when I walk. I own the fucking sidewalk. People step aside for Thin Bones.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
All right, the latest in the Sean P. Diddy Combs case says the judge is threatening to remove Combs from the court for trying to influence the jury. He's staring them down and nodding at them at key points during the trial, and the judge is like going, can't do that, Diddy. I'm going to throw your ass out. Also, a former girlfriend of his who testified anonymously said she and Diddy used 24 bottles of baby oil or more during their sexual freakout sessions. I guess it wouldn't be right to speculate on who the anonymous witness would be, would it? So I won't do that. Another feud has ensued between ESPN's Stephen A. Smith and XM Satellite and ex-ESPN host Michelle Beadle, love Beadle. This time it's over the fact that Smith will be replacing Biebs on SiriusXM's Mad Dog Sports Radio show this September. Now, Beadle isn't happy because she feels blindsided by the move and said, this is just a reminder that we're all just pieces of crap to somebody. Now, I'll tell you what, man, if Michelle Beadle ever wants to do a podcast, I'd bring her in as a partner. But if she wants to do it on her own, I am the man to call. 1-800-Michelle, 1-800-PUDCAST. 1-800-PUDCAST. Yeah, the 6 was taken, so I took the 8 on this one. Miley Cyrus has been in the news a lot lately thanks to her new album, but she cleared up a long-standing rumor about her and teenage boyfriend Nick Jonas. Miley said there is no ill will between the two and they're just good friends now, even though she's divorced and he's still married with children. So those of you floating the rumors out there that they're doing the horizontal mambo, you're wrong. Nick is not syncing us up or parking the porpoise with Miley, as far as we know anyway. Sydney Sweeney appeared on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon last night and announced Season 3 of Euphoria, after 3 years, is finally on the way. And she says her character Cassie is going to be even nuts and more crazier than she was in Season 1 and 2. I need to go back and watch 1 and 2 now. I just got to figure out where it streams. Now, the funny thing is she didn't promote Sydney's Bathwater Bliss, which was a big topic last week. The soap mixed with her bathwater. And maybe Jimmy didn't want to talk about it because maybe he would achieve liftoff there. And he was having a hard enough time talking to her anyway with her boobs in his face. Did you hear Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi are considering a move back to the United States? Apparently life in London has been a lot harder than they expected. Remember their castle got flooded out last year? But I got to tell you, Ellen's looking ragged, man. She's 67 and looks 77 these days. If she does come back, she better get a Hollywood facelift or Portia might find men attractive again. Hey, by the way, you might not believe this or not, but Britney Spears has now been single for 107 days.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Immature, man's immature, you know?
Shut up. God.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, as you know, I do not read your email in advance. Fleabag forwards me your name, where you're from, and edits them down so I can read them rapid fire and on the fly. Hang on. Vessel check there. All right, Herb G. in Kennewick, Washington said, you're wrong about backing into parking spaces. We talked about this on Wednesday. It's one of my pet peeves, people who back into parking spaces. He said, once you get the hang of it and you get it down, you can back in and get out just as fast as pulling in head first and backing out. All right, you know what, Herb? Maybe I'm screwy and I don't know it yet, but if you can back in and pull out the same amount of time as backing in and pulling out, what the hell's the point? Unless you just want to play with your camera. Okay, so clue me in on this one, gang. What is it? Is it your infatuation with the camera, backing it in? Because he's saying doesn't matter once you get it down. All right, Kathy A. from Columbus, Ohio. You mentioned on one of your podcasts that women, regardless of their body count, should always say 3. The boyfriend you experimented with in high school, the college boyfriend you thought you were going to marry, and the one-night stand, the mistake you made trying to get over your college boyfriend. Yes, that's true. I did say that. She says, the problem is, though, I'd be lying, so I disagree with you on this point. Well, I also said the other option is to be honest. I think I said that. If I didn't, I'm saying it now. You can also always say, I can count all of my lovers on one hand. Now, he may call you out on this one and say, yeah, well, you can count to infinity and beyond on one hand. Then you probably pretty much have to come clean with your real body count number. But the truth is, what happened before you two met really shouldn't matter. It's what happens from the day you met forward. I mean, that's the candid answer, right? All right, Jason T., Tempe, Arizona, he said, I had a threesome with 2 chicks. Fleabag promised. Outrageous and salacious. Look at you laugh over there. He said, they keep dropping by my apartment every other night, and I can't get rid of them. What do you recommend? Oh, because I've had this experience myself. Just kidding. First of all, stop bragging. And second of all, be a real man and move. Alex V., Muscle Shoals, Alabama, says, this girl I'm seeing wants me to do her in the bum, and I don't want to go there. How do I say no and keep her interested in me? Stop, Fleabag, you're making me laugh. Stop it. Yeah, you know, I got on his ass the other day about politics and religion, so now he's feeding me this stuff. Okay, all right. Have you tried no means no? We know that doesn't work with guys. Now, this is something that she craves. I'm going to tell you right now, chances are she'll eventually seek the attention her twinkle, twinkle, little star desires here. She'll seek it elsewhere at some point. It's that simple. Sorry. She's not just going to say, I want that, and I won't do it with anybody else but you. Not going to happen. So you're kind of in a do-it-or-screw-it situation, meaning you either do it or you got to get out of the relationship. Because eventually, twinkle, twinkle, little star, will want to go out nice and far and find another suitor. Brandy K., Santa Barbara, California. I'm a new listener and enjoy hearing your political views, even though I don't disagree. Or, shoot, let me start again. I'm still thinking about Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star there. I'm a new listener and enjoy hearing your political views, even though I don't agree with all of them. My question is, what do you think about Gavin Newsom? Oh, you need to dig deeper back into my podcast. This is probably my favorite subject here. So let me just give you the short version to get you started. I think he lacks character and integrity. He has no moral compass. He's an expert liar and a do-nothing Democrat. He said on his new podcast in January that he thought men participating in women's sports was wrong. It was unfair, but he did nothing about it here in Southern California or Northern California. The whole damn state did nothing. He's a do-nothing Democrat. He's been trying to solve the homeless problem for over 20 years. How do you think he's doing? Huh? How do you think he's doing? Now, to top it off, he's a slumlord, period. He's happy to live in his $9 million mansion while everybody goes without. California has the 4th largest economy in the world. Our city streets should be lined with gold. Our beaches, pristine. Freeways as smooth as a baby's behind, and airports the envy of the world, but we have none of that. Instead, we have Paradise, California, Altadena, Pacific Palisades, and Malibu torched beyond recognition due to Newsom and his Democratic comrades' failed liberal-ass policies. All right, but I digress. That's the short version. You want the long version? Just shoot me a call. Shoot me a call anytime you want to. That's right. Here's the phone number. Are you ready? 1-800-PODCAST. There you go. All right, Lucia C., Madison, Wisconsin, said, there is a lot of talk here about the Lakers trading for Giannis. What are you hearing in L.A.? There's some chatter about it here, but, it's all by the outsiders pretending to be insiders. I mean, when you think about it, the Lakers would have to give up way too much to get him, and even though they would get another, generational player, I think they'd have to give up too much depth to be competitive next season. And the idea is to be competitive and not just go collecting generational players. Sometimes that doesn't work out either. I think they will try to go hard for Miles Turner when the NBA Finals are over. I mean, his stock is going up with every time Indiana wins a game. We'll see what happens after the season ends, though. It's not that far away. June 30th, it gets all underway. Free agency. All right, if you have any questions or comments, please send them to my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. The more outrageous and salacious, the better. And Fleabag, congratulations. You have proven me wrong. You do have the ability to figure out what is salacious and outrageous.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today we are playing I Start It, You Finish It. The topic is intercourse. Intercourse. 67% of women say they prefer this happens before intercourse. Did you figure it out? Did you think what it is? Have you got it? If you said that he takes a shower first.
Yeah, baby.
I knew you were thinking something else, though, weren't you? But if you missed it, go see a doctor about your head trauma and get well soon. I got a split, man. Today is Free Fish Taco Day at the Shady Lady Motel on Sunset and Vine. It's my first time going, and I want to be first in line. But I do have one more thing for you. Did you know if you commit a crime at sea, you're automatically considered to be a pirate? You're a pirate. Oh, this reminds me of the time I took a girl named Mary Lee on a cruise to Ensenada, Mexico. I remember coming back from getting ice, and upon entering the cabin, she looked so nice. How do I say this without sounding crude? How about this? There lied the naked body of Mary Lee. Until 19, she kept her virginity. Does that make me a pirate in that vicinity?
Thank God it's the weekend. I get 2 days away from you. Do your shout-outs to Rat Nation.
Oh, I'd say somebody's going to get out the old jackhammer this weekend.
Oh, you know you want to watch, but that's not going to happen.
Oh, so you admit you are going to be riding the old jackhammer.
Oh, you bet I am 3 times a day. By the way, I need $20 for some batteries.
$20 for batteries. Okay. If I give you $20 for batteries, what's in it for me? Alexa? Looks like I just saved $20. Welcome to Rat Nation. Jason LeBombard from Norman, Oklahoma. Andrea Foreman from Detroit, Michigan. Paul Keene from Aberdeen, Indiana. To the Resistance, those of you who email and have not joined Rat Nation yet. Cameron F. in San Diego, California. Adam K., Little Rock, Arkansas. And Rachel P. in Ithaca, New York. And around the world to listeners in the UK, Sweden, Ireland, and Canada. Our home and... I'll stop.
Chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Be sure to check out the new ratsasspodcast.com to check us out on the socials, listen to podcasts, join Rat Nation, and read the blog. It's loaded with current events, pop culture, music, concert info, the radio wars, radio scores, radio wars, sports, our Q&A, Battle of the Sexes, plus the Dumbass Awards for 2025 so far. We'll do this again on Monday, June 9th. Take care of each other, and thanks for dropping by the Rat's Ass Podcast. Have a great weekend.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. Ratsasspodcast.com.
What are you people? On dope?